Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Sin City is a mass market game that tries to be something a little bit different and something a little bit more unique, a little bit more gamer friendly. And it kind of fails at that a little bit. So let's talk about it as two different games. First, the mass market game. It's actually a fairly good mass market game. It really comes down to you have these gold cards. You're going to want these certain tokens that represent different things from the movies and comics. You want them to be in certain spaces in order to score these gold cards. And you want to accomplish X amount of gold cards in order to win the game. You will do that by doing a setup where you're moving people or these little tokens around, and then you will play action cards that are randomly coming off the deck and do whatever it says, but you want to move these around in such a way that accomplishes the goals. So even though it may say, hey, like giving you a very rudimentary example, move 3X on the board, you want to move those X tokens into locations that you want them to be in. At the same time, other people will be accomplishing their goals. Now, your goals may be different or opposite of each other. That's very well possible. So it's a mass market game. I mean, I'm thankful it's not a roll and move necessarily. It's not a spin and move. They actually try to do something different here. And I think on that level, they actually accomplish what would be a pretty good mass market game. As a gamer's game, which is probably most people watching this, I would say that it fails. It has a little bit too much luck into it. You're literally just turning over that action card and doing what you want. Now, there's decisions in mitigating that luck that's coming off the action cards and getting them where you want to be. And it's a little confusing with some of the components, which are really nice. These components are really good for a mass market game, but I feel like it might have been better with miniatures or tokens of the actual people, rather than like a gun is had again or whatever. It works fine. I wish the game had a little bit more artwork in it. I like stills from movies. I know a lot of people don't, but I do enjoy that quite a bit. But I gotta tell you, the component-wise, this is not a mass market game at all. Gameplay-wise, it's probably somewhere in the middle and has a little bit too much luck for gamers. So, if you're a big fan of Sin City and you think you can theme a night around it, people really like to play a Sin City game, I would say this is pretty much a hit. It's going to fit that niche for you. If you don't like Sin City, there are just better games on the market. So, this will be just for that. As for me, this will be a Purge. I don't think I'll keep this one around, but for Sin City fans, this will be a hit, I believe. For me, it'll be a Purge. Here's the box for Frank Miller's Sin City the Game. Extortion, Corruption, and Murder. It does have an 18 and up on it, probably due to the content matter more than the game itself. Open up and get some rules, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a sort of a custom insert where everything will fit in. You're going to get a board, which will be kind of abstract. You're going to have a place for your cards and then locations around the board, but you can see there's not a whole lot there other than the name. You'll be putting cards down. And then you're going to have some really nice tokens, actually. These are very, very thick. The components in this game are very nice. You're going to have some of these action cards. Now, these are a little bit thin. That's where things are a little bit thin. You're going to have repeating artwork. You can see Bruce Willis there. I live for that. You're going to have your gold cards. Then you're going to have your reference cards that you'll have for the game. You're also going to get a 6-sided red die. 3 different types of tokens, but these buddies are really thick. You're going to get these metal pieces, and these are really cool. I kind of wish they would have been different things or characters from that. But you're going to get a police badge, an Uzi, a cross, and a handgun. These are like metal, pewter metal type stuff. Very nice. And these are really, really, really well made. You can hear them clinking around. That's components. You get a little bit of a custom insert. A lot of wasted space. I guess the board fits in there. But you can see that this could have taken up a lot less. This is a really cheap piece of paper, no artwork whatsoever on it. You're going to get a printout here, how to play, part 1, the setup, and the end of the turn, how it kind of goes there. On the other side, you're going to get a variant for expert players and a Q&A on this side. Otherwise, this is really where it's going to house all of the rules. So this is what setup the game is going to look like. The police station, you'll have 7 cops, Old Town 7 dames, and the farm 7 creeps, 2 of each and the rest. Then you will put Gail here in downtown. She's this Uzi. Hardigan is the badge over at the docks. And then you'll have Marv, which is the cross, at the motel. And then this will be Gail that you'll be turning around and holding this handgun when it's your turn. You're going to shuffle the action card, shuffle the gold cards, and you're ready to go. Each player will get 1 gold card. And these might have different stuff. So there must be at least 7 creeps in 1 space other than the farm. There must be at least 10 dames in the motel, the bridge, and the pits. There must be at least 7 dames in one space other than Old Town. So everybody will get one of these to start the game. So there's 2 parts of the game. There's going to be setup, and then there's going to be action. Everybody will do setup, and then when setup is done, you would then go to the action part of the turn. So on your turn, you can do one of 3 things during the setup. You can take a cop from the police station and put it at any other location that you'd like. You can take a creep from the farm and put it in any location that you like. Or you can take a dame from Old Town and put it in any location that you'd like. Remember that the location you're trying to accomplish is your goal card that you will have. So your decisions will be directed by what you have on this card to do. So there's a little bit of a catch. If there's less than 5 cops at the police station, you can't take any more from there. 5 at the creeps or 5 dames in the Old Town, you can't move any more of those out. You keep going until there are less than 5 at the police station, 5 at the farm, and 5 at Old Town. Once each of these has 5 or less, then the setup phase will end. Then, whoever is Gladys will turn over the top action card, reading it out loud. I live for that look. Choose one player, starting with you and proceeding to the left. Everyone except that player may place their goal card at the bottom of the deck and draw a new one. Draw another action. So that'll be everybody a chance to get a different goal card if things didn't work out the way they wanted. Did I call it? Choose a space with at least 3 creeps and move 3 creeps in that space to Old Town. Move all cops in Old Town to the police station. Gale attacks, either Marv or Hardigan attacks, your choice. So then they would do what the action card instructs them to do. Now, if you get an attack like that one had, you would roll the die and you would move whatever character you wanted that number of spaces. So, for example, I rolled a 4. If I wanted to move Hardigan, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he would end up in this location. Now, each of the people will do something different. So what Marv is going to do when he goes to a location, he will kill all the cops and the creeps in whatever space he ends up, but he does not hurt the dames at all. When a token gets killed, you move it to the center of the board. So let's say Marv moved here. He would kill all the cops that are here. He would kill all the creeps that are here, but he would not attack any of the dames. Now Hardigan, let's say he's here in the mission space. What he's going to do, he's going to kill all the cops there, so they would go in the middle. Then he would send all the dames back to Old Town. And let's say Gale ended up here. Gale kills all the creeps in her space, sends all of the dames back to Old Town. She doesn't want to hurt them. And she doesn't do anything with the law, so they would just stay there. So that's how the 3 different people, Hardigan, Marvin, and Gale, would move on the table. Now, once that's done, everybody has done their action card, then whatever goal card you have, you would check to see if you've accomplished it. If you have accomplished it, you set it down in front of you, accomplished, and you would draw a new goal card that you would be attempting to accomplish. The first person to accomplish 3 goal cards will be deemed the winner of Sin City. So there are a few variants you can use with this game. The first one is that every player will get a move 1, a move 2, and a move 3 card they can use each once per game. So when you move somebody, you can then play this, move them in extra space. Everybody around the table can play theirs if they want to, and then wherever he ends up is where they would be. And this is in addition to the die roll that you normally would have. Then, after somebody completes their second mission, you'll be able to get one of these that were turned down back up and be available for use again. There's a kinder and gentler one where if you've accomplished 2 of these missions already and somebody hasn't accomplished 1, then your third one has to be face up so everybody knows what you're trying to do. And this is a way for them to be able to just attack the leader. Without knowing this information, you can't really attack the leader, but you sure can if it's face up. Who should play this game? Lighter gamers maybe want to do a step up. You know, you're used to those mass market games, and you're looking for something that might be in the middle, not quite Ticket to Ride, but there's quite a bit going on here that's a little bit weird. So it's unique. It's a little bit heavier than what mass market people will be used to. Sin City fans, you got a decent game here. It's not a gamer's game. It's somewhere in the middle of mass market and gamer's games. So I think it's hard for it to find a niche and hard to find its company here. But if you're like Sin City, I think this is going to be a hit for you. At least you have a decent game that came out that wasn't just flop. It wasn't just a mass market spin and move. I think you'll be kind of happy with it in that regard. For me, it's going to be a Purge, but I could see this hitting for Sin City fans absolutely.